Yo, 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 what's cracking? Listen, beautiful day out there. Hope you're doing good wherever you're at. Drop me a comment, drop me a line. If you can hear me all right, and we'll get started here in just a couple seconds once I am sure all the stuff is connected. Um, yeah, it looks like we're getting set up. So, yeah, drop me a line, drop me a yes in the comments if you hear me all right, and let me know where you're coming from today, where you're watching this from. Even if you're on the replay, just drop me a line. Just let me know you're watching the replay. Just type replay in for me too, just so I know who's watching when. And if you get questions through this too, drop them in. I'm going to read every single one, and I will be getting back to you. I'll answer your questions. And if you've got a private question, shoot that over to me in a DM, direct message. I'm always available that way. I might not see it immediately, but I will check those on a regular basis and definitely be happy to get back to you with anything you send my way. All right. Well, let's dive into it today. I want to talk to you about goal setting, right? Popular kind of thing. We all want to set goals, especially, doesn't feel it just kind of crazy the way this year has gone, right? And how New Year's doesn't feel that far off. Maybe it does for you, but for me, it just kind of feels like strangely close at this point, even though we're still in the summer. But anyway, doesn't matter though. There's no point in waiting, right? It's one of the problems is we'll put things off, wait for, well, once New Year's comes around, I'll set some goals and, get some New Year's resolutions. And then by February, I'll forget about them. So I want to talk to you about how to set goals, right? And how to hold them, how to actually accomplish them, and what that one principle is that you're missing, most likely, most goal setting is lacking, and why it falls apart. Okay, and why goal setting can actually work against you and prevent you from reaching your goals. It can be the very cause of the goal burnout that's so common when New Year's does roll around. So let's set you up for success well ahead of time. So if you want to do some New Year's resolutions, go for it. I don't really, for me, it's not about that. It's just about keeping my running tab of what are my targets, where is my progress at, and resetting, all in alignment with my bigger vision, which I'll talk about elsewhere. But let's dive in today about setting those goals, how to achieve them. Again, my name is Peter Lynch, peak performance coach, and I'm committed to helping you live with passion, purpose, and power. If you want to learn more about this at any time, head on over to lynchcall.com. But let's dive in today about setting goals and what that one powerful principle is that you're missing, most likely. That once you implement it into your goal setting, you'll go from setting goals to accomplishing them. All right. What that one thing, it starts with, right? So powerful. First of all, if you're setting goals, good for you. I want to commend you for that in the first place. Most people aren't even thinking about what they want. They're just going with, what do I do? Okay. Which is a constant hamster wheel, right? It's always just, what's the next thing? What's constant reactionism, and it never moves you forward, never gets you anywhere in life, right? So moving from what do I do to what do I want, that's already powerful. But here's the thing is, when you know what you want, it's not going to do you much good until you understand why you want it. And that's the thing I want to dive into today, right? Why do you want that goal? And get real clear about that and be honest with yourself too, because a lot of times we'll set goals out of peer pressure, out of a desire to please somebody else, right? I know I've done that plenty of times in my life where I was trying to essentially live someone else's life to please somebody who I was looking for their affirmation, their confirmation, etc., their approval, and never got it, whether I was living my life or somebody else's, right? So it really was an empty struggle there. Something to just recognize and let go of. But part of that for me was just to see, well, I'm trying to live up to somebody else's standards. I set this goal, this direction, out of fear and a desire for approval from somebody else. So I want you to get really clear on, what do you want and why do you want it, right? What do you want and why do you want it? What are the things that you really, really want? The reason why your why should really be because it's about you, not in a I'm not talking just like, I want more candy, right? I mean, to put it tritely, but still, right? It's not just like, oh, just about I'm not encouraging selfishness here. I'm encouraging you to come to terms to know yourself better, because when you're in that state, when you're operating from a foundation of powerful self-knowledge, you impact the world around you more powerfully. So it's accused as being selfish, unfortunately. But the reality is, when you start to come to terms with yourself and start to work for yourself to improve yourself, you can give at a much higher level. So that's really what this comes down to. It's what it's so much about, is coming to what's that why that really drives you, right? What is it that you really want? And why do you want it? And how you to really determine that too is project yourself, right? Set goals from the future, not from the now. What I mean there, I learned a lot of this too from great guy Dean Graziosi. If you don't follow him, highly recommend it, right? He's been one of the great teachers I follow. So he talks about this, others do as well. But it's a powerful principle that'll transform how you set your goals. Set your goals from the future. Set them looking backwards. Okay, if you want to set a goal for a year from now, put yourself a year from now looking backwards at the best year you've ever had. What does that look like? How do you feel? And so what I'm getting at here is that why is very emotional, because we're all emotionally driven creatures, right? And we justify it with logic. When it comes to purchases, marketing, etc., right? We all buy on emotion and justify with logic. Okay? All of us make, and all that means is buying as a decision. So we all make decisions based on emotion and then justify them with logic. That's why logic is so skewed. We like to think that we're rational creatures, but we're the most incredibly irrational beings you can imagine, because we're all justifying our emotional state with our reason, our ration. So you have to transcend that to understand it better. And usually the only real way to transcend it is through a coach and a guide, okay? Somebody outside of you who can help you see you better and question your decisions from that outside perspective. Otherwise, you will never see yourself fully. It's just, it's a natural law. You can't see the forest for the trees. There's also a scientific principle, I forget the exact name of it, but no system can be completely understood from the inside, which means I am a system. I cannot understand myself from the inside, which is me, right? Peter, cannot understand Peter from being Peter. I need that help, and I get that regularly. I encourage you to do the same. If you want to learn more about how we can work together, head on over to lynchcall.com. It's my passion and my pleasure, and I really would love to discuss that with you further on helping you step up your game to that next level, to live with passion, purpose, and power. Now, again, why do you want to set this goal, right? You're going to project yourself to where you've accomplished that goal. Maybe it's a 5-year goal, whatever it is. Put yourself there. So you've got the goal in mind. You want to achieve X. Now, project yourself into that spot. You have achieved X. How does that feel? That's why you want it, right? Now, if feeling good, see, this is where it comes back to, if feeling good about achieving that goal is dependent on somebody else's affirmation, then it's not really yours, okay? That's where you have to break free of that. If you feeling good about accomplishing this goal that you've set for yourself is dependent upon the affirmation and approval of somebody else, then it's not truly your goal. And you need to go back to the drawing board and look at, what do I really want? Because you have to cut those ties. Otherwise, you're always dependent, which creates victim mentality, a victim life, where you're always victimized by depending on, waiting on somebody else. Okay, and that's the ultimate killer. You have to be the victor of your life. The victor knows what to do and how to do it, and does it. Excuse me. Right? You take your life into your own hands. You fight for your life. You're not going to let somebody else determine your life for you. Sadly, so many people do that. And that's why it's just, subtly but deeply frustrating and unhappy, unfulfilling, etc. Okay. Before I get off on that though, let's, I'll just wrap this up on today. Goal setting, right? You want to set some goals? Good for you. And you've already been setting goals. I applaud you. You're already multiple steps ahead because you're already thinking, what do I want? Instead of what do I do? What do I do is so many steps after all of this. But now we're just shifting it a layer deeper, right? We're going a layer deeper on this. What do you want is here. Why do you want it is here. Because if you don't know why you want it, it's so much harder to accomplish it. Not saying you can't or you won't, but most likely you won't. Most likely it won't happen unless you have a connection with that deeper layer, which is why do I want this? Which really is that emotion. So you're going to stir up your own emotions. You're going to project yourself into the future, into that place where you've accomplished the goal. How does that feel? And really let yourself feel that, because your body doesn't know the difference between now, then, future, etc. So your subconscious mind will then experience that as it is, as though it were now, and then go to work to create that. So it's kind of like a biohack, as it were. But I kind of get sick of those terms. Really what this is just, it's systems that work. I'm not into hacks because I don't care for the idea of a shortcut. What I'm looking for, and I want to help you find as well, are systems that work, right? Something you can do to move yourself forward into that next level that that you want to accomplish, right? So that you can live that life that you want to live. Thanks for watching this. I hope this is going to help you set and achieve some powerful goals in your life. Again, if you want help taking this to the next level, you want to learn more about this, head on over to lynchcall.com. I talk about this and multiple other subjects and how they all work together to create a more holistic and healthy and fulfilling life where you're living with passion, purpose, and power. Head on over there. I'll see you there. Otherwise, thanks for watching this. Again, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll be talking to you real soon. Thanks again.